The launch of this laptop has created a turbulence in the world of tech for sure. Perhaps one of the most awaited electronic items in 2020 to hit the shelves, thanks to the pandemic for delaying the same. If you search on YouTube for the review of Zephyrus G14, you're going to get plenty of them, but they're mostly based on Ryzen 7 or Ryzen 9. I think people who are going to buy this thing would be considering the Ryzen 5 for sure. Now I just don't want to give you a review which on detailed statistics and figures just like the stock markets or the machine learning codes. I'll just give you a gist of what exactly it feels like. So I bought this. The Ryzen 5 4600HS, paired with 4GB of GTX 1650 Ti. It has 8GB of 3200MHz RAM, paired with 1TB of NVMe 3.0 SSD. Now, the first impressions on the build quality. The body is solidly built from magnesium. The screen does not reflect, thanks to the matte coating. The colors are punchy, vibrant, and the color space covers 100% of sRGB gamut. Swiping on the glass trackpad feels like skating on ice. The power button has a fingerprint reader which unlocks almost instantly. There is a hinge to lift the body, promoting airflow for better cooling. There are hotkeys for volume controls, which are quite handy. The speakers are louder and sound clear. Being skeptical, I bought a Ryzen 5 variant instead of the Ryzen 7 variant because it's out of stock. But turns out, I'm not disappointed. It delivers what I asked for without gagging at any moment. The display has no issues whatsoever regarding the brightness levels or the viewing angles for the most time. The keyboard is simply a joy to type on. The battery is spectacular. I watched 4 movies on a single go. The power brick which comes with this laptop is insane. It's just humongous. This is my smartphone. This is the power brick. To just give you in comparison, you can relate to it yourself. That brings us to the question, is that really perfect? You see, nothing is really perfect if it doesn't have imperfections. For instance, the bottom half looks boxy and gives a touch of 1990s. Don't worry about face security. There is no webcam. The version you see here does not have animatrix display, but they did not bother to cover it up. If you are a creator, then you need a dongle for your card to ship the data because there is no card reader built into the laptop. If you are a gamer, then pray for the mercy to the router because there is no LAN port. The backlighting on the keyboard is quite cumbersome for visibility at times. If you put the fans on turbo mode, the spinning fan reminds you of the helicarrier from the Avengers. But all of these things are quite manageable in some sort of the other. But the biggest bother of all this thing is the heat. See, when you push this laptop beyond limit, things get quite grumpy. Swimming in lava feels colder than touching the deck. If you are looking for a laptop which is around the 1 lakh rupees price mark, which delivers you most of the things which you ask for without gagging, this should be one of your picks. I personally recommend you not to go for the animatrix version because 18,000 rupees of a difference for a display which you can't see doesn't make any sense. Also, that takes a toll on the battery as well, considerably. Not quite drastically, but yes, considerably. This is a portable power packing machine, even at the base variant. If you want a bit of more power, then I suggest you to go for the Ryzen 7 variant. And if you're planning to upgrade the RAM, don't buy the 16GB version, go for the 8GB version and pop in 16GB of sticks. So then you have effectively 24 GB of RAM because it has only 2 slots. I wanted the Ryzen 7 variant because I felt I could take the advantage of 2 extra cores and 4 extra threads to my rendering and creative tasks. When I purchased this laptop, the Ryzen 7 variant is out of stock and there is no idea when that will be back in stores again. So I don't want to wait further and I bought the Ryzen 5. If you are really looking for a bit more performance, I suggest you to opt for the Ryzen 7. But that, do mind it, that is going to bring an extra heat because this is really a compact chassis. The reality why this is a game changer in the 14-inch segment is because there is no competition which is very close to it. I mean, quite literally. The prices of the Ryzen 5 variant also went up really crazy regarding the situation of the pandemic. Some sellers on Amazon put up the base variant without animatics, the Ryzen 5 1650, not even Ti version, around 1,43,000 rupees. I mean, who the hell pays 1,43,000 rupees for a Ryzen 5 variant? I mean, I'm not saying this is bad, but that sort of money for this power? No, I don't think so. I can't put up a gaming review on this thing because I don't play those mainstream games which majority of the gaming community plays. And it doesn't make sense to put up games of my choice which are not mainstream for the gaming community and call it a gaming review. So I'm just calling it from the creator's perspective. The display is fantastic, the colors are punchy. All the processing and the computing power is exactly on point on what you need for most of the time. If you can just mute off the filter that it's producing too much of heat, it is a bang for the buck value.